This is a demo of synchronizing data to the utility network using the Similix Utility Network Migration Suite. The synchronization takes changes from an existing ArcGIS geodatabase and migrate them to the ArcGIS Utility Network. First, let's take a look at the setup. What we have here is a source database showing data from a geometric network in ArcGIS 10.1. The data in the source have been mapped and migrated to an electric domain model in the utility network. The mapping and migration has been done using the Similix Utility Network Migration Suite. What we can see in the Migration Suite is a list of all the mappings from the source model in ArcGIS 10.1 to the model in the utility network. As an example, the feature mapping I'm highlighting shows a mapping from a delivery point in the source to a customer connection point in the target. The same source has also been mapped to a meter in the target. The mapping file containing all these mappings has been used to do the initial migration from the ArcGIS 10.1 geodatabase to the utility network. What I want to demo here is how we can get the changes happening in the existing 10.1 geodatabase to the utility network by detecting the changes in the original data source and synchronize only the changes to the utility network. What we can see here is the same area for the 10.1 in the map and the utility network in the other map. I've built a model to add features to the 10.1 geodatabase. I'll fast forward to the end of the script. I can see now that the features have been added to the source geodatabase. Since I have a mapping of how these features should be represented in the utility network, I can let the Similix Utility Network Migration Suite detect the changes and sync them to the utility network. When I run the sync, the changes are detected. The synchronization uses the exact same mapping as was used for the migration, but it applies it to the changes. As the sync is running, it reports which features are migrated and what they are migrated into. When the sync is done, we can see that features have been added to the utility network and that the utility network have marked the area with the new features with dirty areas in the network. This marks an area as a place where the network model cannot be trusted. We can validate the area. And that was successful. The next step is to update our subnetworks to get the right representation. I do this manually right now by selecting the network, tier, and subnetwork to update. Running this successfully means that not only is the network valid in the sense of connectivity, but we're also adhering to the rules of how our subnetworks are defined. The subnetwork is now updated, and the newly added features are now part of our subnetwork. To see the result of the mapping, I can zoom closer. Here I can see that where we had a single point in the existing geodatabase, the synchronization have used our mapping and created both a connection point and a meter. I can also see that I have created an association between the two features. As a final point, I have defined a trace location I can run a trace and see that the newly added features are selected as part of the trace. That concludes the demo of synchronization from an ArcGIS geometric network to the utility network.